All right, here it is. It is Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in the Lord's time zone, and we are going to be breaking down the American Express. Am I feeling great? Nah, not really. Not really, but you know what gets me feeling a little bit better? Talking PGA DFS with you sweaty motherfathers who are sweating, building lineups here in mid-January for PGA. What the hell is wrong with us? There's nothing wrong with us. You'll see how big the crowd gets tonight by letting you know we're a community. What's up, new guy? My name's James, better known as the Degenerate 75, and I'm here to help you get a little bit better at PGA DFS. I'm not going to do it picks and plays. That's not really my game. There's a million other shows out there that do it. Go listen to those people. I don't really give a shit. But if you are going to hang around for a while, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah, right down below. Hit subscribe because we're almost at 10,000. It's a goal we've been working on for a while. Help us get there. And the likes just show how much you appreciate the show because I'm a sweaty tryhard just like you motherfather. So without further ado, let's get going. Try to keep the show about 30 minutes, give you everything you need to know for the American Express. I encourage you to be in the chat, be fun, be positive. If you're an asshole, I will have you booted. Trust me, you don't want to fuck with me. Look at that, already counting my F-bombs, not letting any of them cheat. I think last week I did like 20 and I only counted 12, all right? Sue me. All right, simple question, and then we got to get going. New guy, here you go. This one's for you. I know you found me today, and I'm glad you're here, new guy. But have you made your lineups yet? You have. I know you have. Too much time, man. It's just you're like, man, it's Monday and I listen to the show. I want to make some lineups. I get it. But you got to stop doing that, all right? You don't make your lineups until you watch this show because you're not updated on everything, and I'm here to update you. That's why we do the show as late as humanly possible so you can get some useful information and, make relatively competitive lineups. 'Tis the goal, my man, because we want to be sustainable around here. I don't know what the hell that voice was. All right, let's start with contest selection where we always start, and I'm not going to lie to you. DraftKings is doing a pretty good job putting good contests out there. They could be better. They could. They still are a little bit slow. They don't want to step on their own dick. I get it. But, these aren't bad, right? The main's going to fill. There's not going to be overlays this week. Matter of fact, the 555, the 555 signature hole has already filled. This one right here that's already over halfway full is the secondary. That's how popular the 555 was. This one always fills. The big $5, which actually is getting to be almost effing playable. Look at 10th place, 125th of first. You never see 125th of first in the big $5 drive the green. They got this up to 175. Wait till they get this up to 200 or 250,000. They could really make this kind of the signature contest for what most people like to play, right? Because most people aren't trying to max enter the big $20 for $3,000 every week, right? But you can max enter this for $750 or just throw 20 in it for $100. So this is actually looking pretty good, but I will warn you it's at 36,000 of 41. So if you're going to reserve, you better go get them now because I would bet that fills in the next 3 hours. So I would get in there. And then, as always, the best contests you can do are the ones that are well structured and not too big, right? Like this 20, the 20 max $3, pretty good contest, right? Well structured, only 10% to first. 10th place is 500. If you're playing $60 this week, this is probably the most nutted tournament out there to play because 20 lineups allows you to mix and match your player pool. So you got like 16 guys you like, 20 guys you like. This 20 max is almost perfect, right? If you're a medium level player, I mean, the 4 max 250 is nutted. The $100 single entry is nutted. It looks like the $200 single the $200 single entry already has filled. You can see it go gray right there on my screen, you motherfathers. And so, this is what I'm telling you. If you want to start getting in some of these good contests, one of two things is going to happen. DraftKings nutsack's going to have to drop, and they're going to have to start putting out bigger contests, which I have been promised by the head of who makes these contests. We are going to get good showdown contests this week. I know we're talking kicking the nuts week long right now, but we are going to get supposedly going to get better showdown contests this week because a lot of people are going to want to play showdown with the course rotation advantage out there. So everybody thinks they still don't know how to play this shit. Trust me. Watch. I'll show you this weekend. At least I'll show my members. I may not show you, new guy from the YouTubes. All right. Tons of good contests out there. Well-structured contests, too. You got to remember, some of these contests don't show up on here because I'm blocked from them just from the level I play. So there's probably even more contests that I could show you. But the key is starting out, build your player pool, right? Go through and kind of, I like this guy, ID these guys. And if you find you like 8 guys, play in a 3 max. If you find yourself liking 8 to 10 guys, play in a 3 max. If you find yourself liking 16 to 20 guys, go play in a 20 max. If you find yourself liking 25 to 30 players, go 150 max it. And if you're like, well, I can't afford to 150 max it, look at the 50 cent mini max, right? Which is like, you can max that for $75. Okay. So there's always something to max for 150 lineups where you can use the player pool that you like and get it into the right contest that you want. All right. It's always there. All right. New guy, new question. Here we go. What's the first thing we always check at PGA DFS? That ain't it. It's weather, you donkey dick. And they are way down in La Quinta, California, which, is pretty far away from LA, so it shouldn't be affected by all the terrible fires going on out there. Hopefully everybody's okay. And we are going... we're going straight up looking at some H. And here's the facts, guys. They're playing on 3 courses all at once, right? And they're all going out within 2 hours of each other. So everybody is going to get out there. These rounds are going to be incredibly slow. I'm talking 6-hour rounds. And that's why they still get them out there early, because they know that there is still a chance that these slow mother fathers won't even get done with their fucking rounds in 6 hours, right? Uh-oh. Boom, got it. So, so you're like, well, why are we even looking at the weather then? Well, I think, first of all, you want to note that the weather's going to be pretty nice all 3 days, right? It's going to be pretty much relatively the same. Not a lot of wind. I'm seeing a little bit of wind Thursday compared to the other days, but let me hit refresh. Make sure there's not a refresh. I need to check here. H, get over here, H. That's the one I like when we're looking stateside. Actually, Friday morning all of a sudden now has H saying maybe it might be a little spicy Friday morning, right? And so if that is going to happen, and by the way, over at Ship It Nation, I'm going to be updating this in the morning. I'm going to get my lazy ass up in the morning, and I'm going to update this weather. And H is going to have a lot better weather updates. And if you see that Friday is looking particularly windy, you got to start asking yourself a question, right? These guys are going to be playing on a 3-course rotation. This is the rotation. You either start at La Quinta, then you go to the Nicklaus tournament, then you go to the Stadium course. And if you don't know, that basically is them in the order from easiest to hardest. La Quinta is the easiest, Nicklaus tournament is the second easiest, and Stadium course is the hardest. But hardest, if you look at the past, is a relative term. It's still a very easy course, right? This is what most of the studs, this is the rotation of most of the studs in this tournament, is this one. And so then you got to start asking yourself, if one of those days is going to be windy, let's just say Friday is going to be the shitty day, because they're going to play 54 holes before the cut. There's only going to be 1 round after the cut this week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they're just playing normal rounds. Your guys, the Friday sweat is now going to be the Saturday sweat, okay? And let's say that round Friday is going to be the windy one. Well, you got to ask yourself a question. Where do I want my guy playing on the shitty day? If it's going to be, the second day is going to be the windy one, do you want them at the Stadium course where it's already going to be a little bit harder? Or do you want them on the easiest course, maybe La Quinta, because they're still going to be able to get it anyways because the course is so easy, right? And I actually have data on this because I've tracked it, and the answer is there is no clear answer. Sometimes it's better to have the wind, like when there's a severe shitty wind day, go knock the hard course out. It's easier to grind. But then I've also seen you want to be on the easier course sometimes because it's an easier course and the wind does not affect you as much. So we'll definitely be watching that in the morning. I do think course rotation doesn't matter this week in that all 3 days are even. But if we find out in the morning that we're expecting Friday to be windy, I do think you want to really start to look, do I want my guys really playing the Stadium course on Friday, the second day right here, if it's going to be the one of the 3, like blustery days? I don't know, because at least then you're getting the 2 easy courses on the 2 easy days. So that'll have to be a question that you'll have to answer, and that is how you're going to have to use the wind and the weather to really determine your edge. But remember, you need to remember this little chart right here. If they start on La Quinta, which is going to be most of the studs, they're going to finish on Stadium course Saturday. That's going to be like 90% of the studs in the field. If they start on Stadium course, you can see then they'll go to La Quinta, then they'll go to Nicklaus tournament, and if they start on Nicklaus tournament, they're going to finish on La Quinta after playing the Stadium course on Saturday. So if you think that like one day they'll catch the edge, it's not going to happen. It's more just what day do you want to avoid the windy day. And I will tell you that H is new, so we'll have to check that. Matter of fact, let's see if Nam agrees. See, Nam says there will be some wind Friday, but they don't think it's going to be as dramatic. So that's just something you're going to have to watch. Yes, I'm not a wind finder slappy. I am filthy rich and can afford the $18.99 a year to give you guys actual weather projections, and I'll be doing it for all my members over at Ship It Nation. So if you're not over there, get your ass over there, you mother father. All right, moving on. Let's check some ownership. Oh, get the noise. Get my noise ready, dude. All right. We got ownership. These are the top 10 highest owned guys and some hoe who has made honorable mention, right? Ho mention. We'll call it ho mention, right? First up, Sung JM. We currently have him projected to be the highest owned player this week, right? And him and JT are both coming in at 28%. Sam Burns coming in at 26%. And it's very, very simple. When these prices were made, there was a Xander Schauffele who was $11,200. These guys would all be almost $1,000 higher had Xander not he not ever been in the field. But He's in the field. And so all three of these guys got one thing in common. They are all going to they're all going to see a big bump in their ownership simply because Xander Schauffele's out. But that don't matter, because anytime you start damn near and getting 30% and you're not Scotty Scheffler, you, sir, only have one thing to call yourself, and you, sir, are, I hate to say it,
the man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk.
But you got to remember, not all Donkey Chalk is created equal, right? These guys are Donkey Chalk because what's rule number one of PGA DFS? People love to spend their salary. They're going to mop up that salary, these three guys up top, and they're going to get a lot, right? And I honestly, you could probably throw Cantlay in there. You could probably say Cantlay is going to be borderline. We'll have to see. But you know what? Just because that neckbeard's a neckbeard, I'm just going to give him, I think he'll come in a little bit lower than normal. I just don't think that people can cram all these guys and get Cantlay in there. But you start dropping down to the 9,200, and now you're getting into guys that aren't exactly studs, yet who are still racking up over 20% projected ownership, right? I'm sorry, I like some Max Grazerman, but that guy right there, over 20% in the 9,000s, what are we doing? That guy is...
The man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk.
We don't do that, except when we do. Very good, guy in the back. We only do it when we do, okay? If you want to play Max Grazerman, that's fine. Just marry your ass to him, all right? Play 40% of him. I don't give a shit who you play, but I think you should probably, if you're just going to be a wiener and play 18% of him, we'll just know you probably better just completely fading him, because if he is at that 20% and he hits, you're actually below leverage on the field, right? Tom Kim, Tony Finau, Wyndham Clark. I think all these, I think these guys right here in the 9,000s, for how good of players they are, it's crazy to me they're going to be lower ownership than Max Grazerman. What the hell are we doing here, Bob? So I think I would just call both of these guys. I don't love it, but I don't think they're Donkey Chalk, right? And I think Wyndham Clark, I wouldn't even really call him chalk. What an elite player he is at 15%. I think I'd just call him chalk. It doesn't really bother me, okay? He's not that bad, right? Now, Peter Griffin, you get down here into the 7,000s, and I start seeing 14, 15%. I don't care how many eye surgeries you've had, mister. And I was a big Ben Griffin guy last week. I was feeling real good after the first round, patting myself on the back about how smart I was. And then I remembered that one thing called there's 72 holes in a tournament, and he's got to play them all, and he's decided to go straight dickhead mode. So that doesn't matter, because this week, that man is the definition of...
The man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk.
I don't make the rules. There you go. That man right there, Ben Griffin. You get down into the 7,000s and you're 15%. You're auto Donkey Chalk. You're auto Donkey Chalk, okay? Is he underpriced? Yes. Is he playing well? Yes. Did he get his eyes fixed? I think. Was he an accountant? If I have to hear that story one more time, I will punch somebody in the throat. All right. Eric Cole, yes, I know, the Cole man out in California. I'm surprised they haven't shut him down due to their strict environmental policies, but he's still out there somehow, just Eric Coling it away. He's going to have to switch to Eric Solar. I've been DMing him, telling him you got to switch your last name. California's going to catch on to you. Hasn't listened to me once. Very weird. Has not returned any of my DMs. Starting to get my feelings hurt. So, Eric Solar, here's what we're thinking. You are 8,300. You are significantly higher than everybody else around you, and honestly, you know what? I just have a thing against coal, all right? Because this ain't coal country. I don't live in West Virginia. You, sir, are.
The man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk.
Especially when there's coal in California, you know it's going to get shut down. You know Cole, actually, he played great last week. It was weird to see Eric Cole sinking every putt again, right? It was like, oh, my God, when did Eric Cole stop sucking balls? Then I realized that it was this week. All right, look at that. 340 people in here, 177 likes. That means I got roughly about half the crowd that are full of donkey dicks. So if you go ahead and hit that like, much appreciated, broskies. Plus, man, we're already about to have the most popular stream, and it's only like, what is it, 7:14? Let's go. Only need like 20 more people to have the most popular stream. I get off on that. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I like it because I just appreciate all you guys dropping everything Wednesday at 7 and being here, you mother fathers. And lastly, any man named Rico Hoey hanging out around 7,000. I just heard him get hyped up in the community. He's going to get popular. Matter of fact, it wouldn't even surprise me if he comes in at double digits. So you know that man right there is going to be the definition of.
The man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk.
Except when we do, because I really want to play some Hosack this week. I really want to play some Rico Hosack. All right, guys, it's very simple. If some people are going to watch this, and I didn't realize last week with Taylor Pendrith how much I moved the pendulum this week or now in the industry. So you got to know that some of these guys are going to get steamed up. They're going to watch my show. They're going to watch other people's shows, and they're going to say, "Oh shit, that guy likes them. I now like them." Even though I did a whole pro tip last week about not going all in on everybody's picks and plays. So let's see. If some people are moving up and down, then that means, or if people have this and now they're going to make adjustments off of this, that means some people are going to be moving up and down. So Let's start with some steam. Who are some guys that I think are going to get steamed up, meaning that their ownership is going to come in higher than I am projecting simply because of Wednesday night steam? And number one is Justin Thomas. I think that he will get over 30%. A, he's the most expensive player. B, people love to spend their money. C, he's actually playing well. And D, I think he's the biggest name in the tournament, and that also enters a little cachet. So Justin Thomas, you are going to steam up. And I think we'll see him over 30% tomorrow, especially in single entry stuff, right? Number two, I think is going to be Sam Burns. I've heard so much Sam Burns talk this week, and he's got that Best Buy pricing at $9,800. People love to pay four figures, but if he were $10,100, they'd be like, whoa, that is way too much, way too much. Sam Burns is can be the first guy in your lineup or the second guy in your lineup, and it is so easy to fit him in every single build you could ever want to do. He just fits everything, so that man is going to be the definition of steamed up. He's going to get steamed up, right? I can already feel it in my loins, boy. And then lastly, Eric Cole. I know I just shit on him. I know he's in the state of solar, but I'm telling you, Eric Cole is going to, after he played last week, people are already Eric Cole sluts. We can remember that from last year, how popular we got. Once he got into form, it was like 20% Eric Cole every week. He is in form, so it would appear after last week. I think he is going to be popular. I think he'll be that guy who will wake up and be like, why the hell is Eric Cole 20%? He could be that crazy of a steam guy. So that man is the definition of steamed up. But if some guys are getting steamed up, that must mean some are moonwalking back. So let's talk about some guys that I think are not going to come in as highly owned as we are currently anticipating. And first up is Ronnie Renow and Tony Finau. Well, first of all, if you didn't see, he did the article about I'm not 100%, which honestly makes me want to play him more, right? Like, here's the general, I love a good narrative. Oh, he's not 100%. Well, that's definitely going to drop his ownership, right? Because I was all ready to fade Tony Finau until I read that thing about he's not well. Now I'm like, okay, maybe I want to play Tony Finau because that's just how it goes. I had no interest in him, but now that he's playing the whole I'm not 100%, I'm interested because here's what I know about golfers. They love to have an excuse, something to fight through. Oh, my swing's garbage. Okay, and then they just go out and flush it at every hole. It's like a mental game they're playing with themselves. Tony Finau said it best. Everybody has little nagging injuries when they play golf. It's just shit you got to deal with. I'm not too worried about his injury, but I think there's enough people out there that did not see the full context of his interview, and I think that he is going to moonwalk backwards. I think you're going to get Tony Finau at some good ownership mañana. That's tomorrow, you uneducated donkey dick. All right, moving on. Cameron Young is number two. Why do I think Cameron Young is going to moonwalk? A, I think people are just tired of Cameron Young. Second of all, most of the guys in the 9,000 are way more appealing than that stupid fucking leprechaun. And $9,000 is just the worst pricing ever. I think, people like to play him when he's 8,300, not when he's 9,000. Better plays around him, guys in better form. So I think you are going to see Cam Young moonwalk backwards. That's right. Next up, we have Harry O. I just do not believe that. I mean, Harry Hall's playing great. Harry Hall might be a way better golfer than I once gave him credit for. I'll be the first to admit that. I'll be the first to admit that my man, Harry O, might be a little bit better than I thought. But at some point, you got to say, is Harry Hall really $8,800? Like, we're going to play a Harry Hall at $8,800 when there's definitively better golfers right below him in the $8,000 range. I just think enough people will wake up and see that, like, you play the better golfer more than you play the guy on the hot streak. So I think Harry Hall is going to moonwalk a little bit backwards. So he is going to get the moonwalk backwards. All right, there you go. If those are the guys that are steam moonwalking backwards, there you go. Guys, I had a couple members last week from old Ship It Nation tell me they were on Nicholas Echeverria. I did not play him. He got cut because I tried to play a little bit of a weather edge last week, which actually did work out a little bit, but it also got me off some good plays because I like to Nicholas Echeverria. And you come over here, and this is a little thing we have over at my site. If you haven't heard, I made a thing called Dejan's Scorecard. It also has Dejan's notes too, which I highly encourage you to check out. We're adding to it every day. My goal is in 6 weeks is to completely refresh this. And I asked those members, I'm like, this was 3 different guys who came to me independently and told this. And I said, how did you get to my man, Nicholas Echeverria, right? Buried way down here. And I said, well, first of all, he has a B- in driving accuracy, and you needed to be good at finding the fairway. The most common distance for shots was 150 to 200, and he was a B- in that. His best putting surface was the putting surface they were using, an A-. And then he's not good at strong fields. He's not good at tough courses, and but those other things he's just his normal baseline at, right? And when you start looking at all these things and you piece it together, you're like, shit, Nicholas Echeverria is a great fit for this course. Then you go look at the stone and you realize, oh shit, he's in great recent form because he tore it up all swing season. And that is how you can use this scorecard. You can actually look at things they excel at, and instead of trying to build some stupid fucking model. And you can see, hey, that's how you get on Nico Echeverria right there. And that was how they did it, just by using the scorecard. You could see he excelled at the three main areas we were looking at. And so no surprise, he almost won the damn tournament. This is what the scorecard does. It adds to it, completely free, or not completely free. It's completely part of all of the things that we offer here at Gibbet Nation. Still has my stone, still has the core report, the value report, the DGens notes, the course fit rankings, the tier rankings. We got everything. I'm telling you, not only do we offer you the best and most tools in PGA DFS, we also do it cheaper than everybody else. It just gets on my nerves that people would pay more for less. That's all I'm trying to say, Bob. If you don't want to pay for any site, I get that too. If you got your own process, maybe you don't need it. But let me tell you this, having the scorecard sure as shit won't hurt you, all right? Nor will my notes, all right? Because I've been doing this a long time. I got notes out the asshole. All right, moving on. Let's see. Let's get to the DFS tip of the week, because I've been doing this a long time and I like to bestow my wisdom upon thee as I've collected it over a long time. Oh, look at that. 382 people in here. The number one, look at that. The number one show in PGA DFS. Some people run good. DGen run better. Thank you. Guy in the back, thank you. Sit down. All right, I'll feed you later. All right, here we go. DFS tip of the week. All right, 721. We already got that. You love to see it, big guy. Let's see. Be aware of unique tournament formats and be willing to adjust your process to fit it. This is a unique tournament format. This isn't your normal tournament. They're going to play 54 holes and then do a cut, right? But more than that, it's about the kind of tournament that it is. I think that this tournament has a different psyche to it. The kind of people who play in this tournament are usually going to be people who don't mind a slow-ass Pro-Am. And some of these guys do. They hate playing slow, and they hate what the Pro-Am does to them, and they hate how easy the tournament is, because there's going to be super easy flags, right? The first 3 days, they can't make this course too tough, or the amateurs are going to be out there all effing night, right? So they get the first 3 days, this is basically going to be a putting contest, as John Rahm most famously quoted it. So you need to have a process where you are willing to adjust your process to this unique tournament, right? And so, like, if I said to you right off the top, who are guys who really score well in these Pro-Ams over the past 5 years, right? Because we have this one, and we have the one in 2 weeks, right? Also, what about the guys who play well at split courses whenever you have multiple courses, right? We're going to see that 3 weeks in a row. And these are things you need to be considering when considering your players, because I think that motivation this week and players' aptitude and how much they are into these rounds is as important as how good they are at actual golf, right? Guys who are into this and who want to do well is more important than actual talent this week. And you can see that by just go back and look at who's won at this tournament and who finishes in the top 10. This is the best week of the year to play slimy assholes. I am telling you, there is going to be probably 6 or 7 guys in the 6,000s who finish in the top 20 this week, who could be part of a winning GPP lineup. So when I'm making my lineups, I am considering that. I'm going to be playing way more slimy bastards this week than I normally do, right? Because that is part of my process. I have to change my process to fit what this week of contest is offering. And this week of contest is offering a 3-course, 54-hole Pro-Am. That is not normal. So to take my normal process and just try to treat it normal and fit it around this tournament, which is not normal at all, is a failing process. So I encourage you to adjust your process to account for how this tournament is different than other tournaments, right? Like right now, you haven't even seen this, have you? Who is the best Pro-Am players over the past 5 years? And who are the ones who score significantly better than their baseline? And you can see the better ones are Adam Hadwin, Daniel Berger, Jason Day, Eric Cole. Oh, shit, I might have to play that motherfather. Christian Bezuidenhout. But on the flip side, some guys play worse in this format. Kurt Kitayama, Ben Silverman, Chad Ramey, Wesley Bryan, Andrew Novak. And by the way, we have a bigger list over at Ship It Nation that we'll be sharing with all our members. The top 10, our top 20 bettors and the top 10 worst, right? Because some of this data can be a little noisy. So, you have to set standards, how many rounds have they played and stuff like that. But these are the guys who qualified, who've played enough rounds at those courses, and here's who does the best. And this is kind of like how you need to adjust your process. You need to account more for this than you normally would, right? So there you go. That is something I'm sharing with all my people out there, because we have over 400 people watching live, 250 likes. Would like to see that more up to. I'll tell you what, if we get to 300 likes, I'll do another $100 ticket that you can build with me in the in the from the chat, the winner from the chat, okay? Because we're still going to do the winner from the like and retweet over on Twitter. All right, let's get over to the model. Dude, I'm telling you, if there's a week that the model doesn't really make a shit of difference, it's this week, right? What are we modeling? Are we modeling the stadium course that half these guys are going to play 2 rounds on, right? I mean, what about the other 2 rounds? Because you're only going to play 1 round on the stadium course, and then you'll get to play it again Sunday, assuming you make the cut. So to really try to make good modeling this week, it to me is a fool's errand. It's a fool's errand. I normally only consider the model maybe 10% of my process. This week it's more like 2% of my process. So I'm kind of out on it, right? But I will kind of run you through some thoughts I have on all the pricing and everything. And I will give you the guys that I'm playing. I'm telling you, Justin Thomas, M. Burns, and maybe Cantlay. These top 3 are going to eat up a ton. I think Cantlay is going to be somewhere in between Burns and Finau. But I think Finau, Clark, Tom Kim are 3 really good guys to get started with that are going to probably be overlooked, that you could pivot to, something like that. Grayserman going to be very popular. Siwoo, Cam Young, Davis. I think these are 3 more guys that I think offer you an interesting pivot / high leverage. Ario, Kate Yalma, they're going to be a little popular. But after that, then you start getting into guys like JJ Spawn, Dunlap, who won this fucking tournament, isn't even getting any love. Will Zalatoris, 8,400. If you just go off straight game, that guy's awesome. But all of his ownership's going to get soaked up by Eric Cole, just like the Sun is, because he's Eric Solar. What is that? What is that? Thank you. Just made that up. All right, hey, thanks everybody. All right, Patrick Fishburne coming off a really good showing last week, going to be mildly popular. No one's going to play Nick Taylor because in this industry, if you win, you might as well be cursed. You're cursed, boy. You stay away from me. Echeverria all the way up to 7,900, but the way he's playing, you can't really deny it. Other guys, that Ben Griffin's going to be popular, which then kind of cast a shadow over Poston and Hoagie and Hadwin, Hostler. Denny McCarthy has withdrawn. Him and Xander have both withdrawn, so do not play Denny McCarthy. Do not play Xander Schauffele. I think Sepp Straka is going to get a little bit of love. I think Bez and Vegas are going to get a little bit of love. But guys like Cam Davis, Ricky Fowler, Daniel Berger, Lee Hodges, Kevin Yu, Keith Mitchell, Novak, Hubbard. These guys, like, no one's playing them. So we saw this last week where, like, this low 7K range kind of starts to become nutted, right? Like, there's just some really good plays down here that I think you're going to be able to get sub 5% owned, right? Other guys that might pop, Michael Thierbjornsson. Hey, it's Thierbjornsson. He's back, everybody. All right, Swedish chef. Very excited to see that. Taylor Moore still a slap dick from last week. Chris Kirk at $7,000. Chris Kirk is a better golfer than every other person in the 7,000s. He's $7,000 and no one's going to play him. What a weird world we live in. They're going to go play Rico Hoy because I heard it from a tout. So now I've got to play Rico Hoy. Whatever. Don't forget, Victor Perez is a legit golfer. Justin Lauer's a legit golfer. Rosner coming over from the old DP World Tour. Maybe he's playing PGA this year. I don't know. But he's typically from the DP World Tour. He's over. Tons. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not going to give you all my 6K guys. You can go look at the fucking stone. You want to see some of my sleepers, all right? But I will give you one sleeper, and that's where we'll start. The one guy that I am playing as a sleeper this week, I think it takes me back to my earliest days. I can still just see this guy early on the California swing. He loves the California swing. Just out there Thursday and Friday, he just throws darts. And because he's really good before the cut, this week it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he'll just be out there throwing darts. So the one guy I'm playing this week is a sleeper. My one sleeper, give me some Chuck Hoffman. When I see Chuck Hoffman's approach going up, I'm in. Plus, he's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday hero. He'll melt down on you at some point, but we're going to have some fun whenever he's tearing it up. So the one guy that I'm calling my sleeper this week is going to be old Charlie Hoffman. Charlie Hoffman. All right. So now the one guy I'm not playing. Swear to God, I haven't even thought of this. I need to add this to the list that I talk with my team, not talk to a member of my team. Let's see. I think the one guy I'm going to fade this week, man, I don't know if I have the stones to fade old Cole. I just don't know that I got it. I didn't got it in me, boy. All right, I'm going big. The one guy I'm not playing, over 20%, I know he's a stud. I know he's good, but he ain't good enough to be 9,200. I'm sorry. Max Grayson, you, sir, are not getting played this week. You were the one guy I'm not playing. Donkey. That's right. He's a donkey dick. All right, so if I'm going to not play him, it leads us to the most important question. Who is the one guy I'm going to play this week, right? Well, I think we got a movie ready for you. I was told that the movie deals with some, what was it? Pampered assholes. I believe that's what it was. So let's see here. All right.
Only $5.70.
Oh, American Express cards. That makes sense.
In the morning, if my face is
it's a fucking psycho. Who's a psycho on the PGA Tour?
Stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now.
1,000? You can do 1,000. That's impressive.
I always use an aftershave
he
lotion
uses DJ's
with
notes.
little or no alcohol. because alcohol dries your face out.
That's true. It
and
does
makes
dry
you
your
look
face.
older. Then
Who is this
moisturizer,
American? He's in good
then
form.
an
He's good at
anti-aging
pro-ams.
eye
Who is
balm
this
followed
asshole?
by final moisturizing protective lotion.
Let's see.
There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman,
All right.
some kind of abstraction. But
He's just
there
not
is
there.
no real
I am for sure that
Only
this guy is the
entity,
most likely to have
something illusory.
bodies buried in his basement.
And though I can
am the
hide
most
my cold
sure
gaze,
that this guy is
and
the
you can
most likely
shake
to
my
have bodies
hand
buried in
and
his
feel
basement. I know
flesh
exactly who
within
this
yours,
is.
and maybe
It
you can
ain't
even
Patrick
sense
Bateman.
Our lifestyles are probably comparable.
It's Patrick Cantlay.
I'm not.
And it's not American Psycho. We got an American Nightbeard. Look at me. Look at it's up on his knife. That's scary. The one guy we're definitely playing this week, well, I don't ever like him, but this is just a great course, and his slow ass ain't going to be slowed up by this Pro-Am. You know what? I wouldn't play him that often, but you got to love that neck beard. So you, sir, are the one man I am playing. We're playing Patrick Cantlay, you mother fathers. There you go. Plus, with all that conditioning and stuff and all the tools he's using, he has no chance not to be successful. All right, first of all, you can just go over here to DJ's notes. This is the other thing that goes with my scorecard. You just go click on Cantlay, and here's the notes. Has been playing well in majors. Neck beard prevents him from winning majors. That's very sad. Excels at par 70s and weak no-cut field 72s. He's from California and loves the California swing, which I believe they're in California and they do that. He prefers these shorter courses. He's a form player who's been playing well, and he's so slow, it actually takes him an hour and a half to watch 60 minutes. Didn't know that about him. These are the kind of notes you get. These are just notes that I've accrued over the years that I'm trying to share with you guys because it's so intimidating trying to learn 250 new golfers, right? So I try to give you some notes to let you know what they're good at, little things that maybe stats won't always show, just little things I've picked up. That is something that you can get. Hey, check this out. Oh, by the way, we're about to do the drawing. Look at all of these winners, all of these people getting first. My boy Tambo getting second in the main last week. But it ain't about all of our moderators doing well. It's about all these other people in our community flying the flag and getting all these first places and doing well and finding success. That is what we're about. We are about trying to make PGA DFS sustainable for you. Try to make it fun. Try to make it where you realize that if you do it right and you have a good process, you can stay around long enough to be sustainable, and then you'll get that big hit, and then you will completely be obsessed with PGA DFS. And we do it by being the cheapest out there because we want you putting your money into your contest and not your content. Not to mention, we also have the Stone, the best tool out there. We do it for week long, as you can see here. But we also have it for round 2, round 3, and round 4 showdown. And we're going to never charge you too much. We have Ship 50 right now. I told you that PGA code be going around, but you can get this, and it gets you MMA, it gets you NFL, of course it gets you PGA for the next month, and it gets you the Shiptimizer. All of this for $50 off. If you're not using this, I don't know what you're doing. We have the best prices out there, the best tools, the best projections. And if you just want this for PGA, well, you're going to get all the other sports too, because our PGA package is the best, but we want to make sure that if you want to play other sports, you're getting those too, and you get access to our Shiptimizer. It has every single thing you can need for every single sport. That is code SHIP50. Guys, it has been crazy how many people have signed up for our PGA package just in the first 2 weeks. The try-hard, sweaty community is getting out there, and this is a great week to get out there. With the next 3 weeks, people think they're going to have an advantage at Showdown because one of the courses is easier. Trust me, it is more nuanced than that, and these are the kind of things we can help you with over at Ship It Nation. Get over there. No one is a sweaty or try hard when it comes to ownership, projections, showdown than I am. And yes, I am still running everything when it comes to that at Ship It Nation and doing the PGA. So get your ass in there. Get signed up. I don't want excuses. The next 7 months are PGA. Come get sweaty with us. Come be a try hard with us and come have some fun with us. All right. This is for everybody who retweeted over on Twitter, $100 ticket that you will build with me. We can do showdown or we can do week long, whatever you prefer. And the winner is... who we got here? Come on, slow down. Ron Lipford. There you go, Ron. I know you're on Twitter. I can see your Twitter handle. Shoot me a DM. We'll get that set up, all right? Editor, was anybody particularly good this? The editor has a new job where if anybody excelled in the golf chat, they get a free $100 ticket. A free $100 ticket, okay? While the editor pulls that up, let's see if anybody qualified for a free $100 ticket. I just want to thank you guys for being here every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, making this the most popular stream out there. Michael Agualano, there you go. You also won a $100 ticket. The editor said you were great in the chat, positive. We appreciate all of you being here live and being a part of the chat. For me, I want you guys to know it is getting late. 35-minute show. Couldn't quite keep it to 30. Don't forget, guys, to enjoy the content, enjoy the process, enjoy building your lineups, enjoy the tilting, enjoy the sweat, and enjoy your results no matter what you get. Oh, that was a sweet-ass rhyme. But most of all, remember one thing. Be thankful for this. Don't take any of it for granted. You don't know how much time you have. You don't know how much weeks of PGA DFS you have, so all you can do is enjoy it each week. Thank you guys for being here and growing this community and making it the best show in PGA DFS. I could not do it without you, and I think that there's only one thing left to do, and that's to put our hands up, you motherfather, because it's time for the outro.
So high.